hmm I think too often one-on-ones devolve into status report updates, right? And that's what I try to avoid. Status reports can be done asynchronously. It could be done during a stand-up. It could be done in like a weekly sort of, document that I send to my boss. Um, so I try to avoid status updates because that becomes the default. Um, a couple of things, I definitely try to look for is just gauging how people are doing. Like what, how are things going, especially in a time of COVID. I find a lot of people are very much like update status, like right into the business side of things. And there's less chat, right? There's less getting to know the person. So especially being remote, I try a little bit more to get to know the person. Um, and start like the first 5 minutes is always nothing to do with sort of work. How was your weekend? How is your kid, your dog, your hobby, your parents, your whatever, the side project you have? I try to just sort of gauge that to try to just like value them as a whole person. And and then I share myself sometimes too, right? Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing. I'm struggling with this. I show some vulnerability, then it gets them. And I'm also trying to look for like changes in behavior over time, especially with being remote. I'm trying to look for signals of like burnout or depression or some things too that are harder to see, like if you're in a person, and just how to try to suss some of those things out. Um, and then, I also try to, let's different one-on-ones. I try to have like at least quarterly or monthly one-on-ones for career conversations. Okay. Let's set some goals. How are we achieving on those goals? How can we help? I try to potentially do some, like I call it like pair programming with, with situations. If it's a manager that I'm having a one-on-one with, let's walk through a problem you're having with an employee. Let's work through a challenging situation. How can we help you with this? If it's an IC, hey, let's pull up, your last code review. Let's pull up this diff. Like, let's just kind of coach through. Hey, this is or I'll also bring up some things as I look through code reviews. That was a really, I appreciated the comments you had in that code review. It was very helpful. It was insightful. Or the reverse. This was like a one-liner. I didn't really get a lot of signal from this, nor did the person who's code reviewing. Maybe I kind of use them for some coaching opportunities as well, to talk about things like that. So again, how they're doing, looking at them as a whole, career conversation, situational, like let's tackle a specific problem. It could be technical, right? Hey, I'm having a really hard time, with this performance issue. Good. Let's kind of dive into that. Like, what have you done? Let me think about your thought process. Here's some ideas. And then, those are some high level things.